Welcome to Historic Coins Vault, where every coin tells a story and every discovery could be worth a fortune. Today, we're diving into the rarest US coins, some so valuable, collectors would pay a small fortune just to hold them. Stay with us, because what you're about to see might surprise even the most seasoned treasure hunters. Top 1. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about modern coins in American history, the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter. At first glance, it may look like just another pocket change coin, but for collectors who truly understand what to look for, this quarter can be far more exciting than its face value suggests. In 1999, the United States Mint launched the historic 50 State Quarters program, a groundbreaking series that celebrated each state in the order they joined the Union. The very first coins released that year were Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Georgia. Among them, the Connecticut quarter quickly became a favorite for collectors. The Connecticut design proudly features the famous charter oak tree. This iconic tree holds deep historical meaning. According to legend, in 1687, Connecticut colonists hid their royal charter inside the oak to protect it from being seized by the English governor. The image on the coin represents independence, courage, and American resilience. The obverse side of the quarter displays the familiar portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan. Now here's where things get interesting. The Connecticut quarter was minted in large numbers at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with proof versions struck in San Francisco. Millions were produced, which means most examples are only worth face value. But collectors don't get excited about ordinary coins, they search for the extraordinary ones. Certain high-grade Connecticut quarters graded MS-68 or higher by professional grading services are extremely difficult to find. Because these coins were produced for circulation, most were quickly exposed to wear, scratches, and bag marks. Finding one in nearly flawless condition with sharp details, strong luster, and no visible imperfections is incredibly rare. And then there are the errors. Some Connecticut quarters were struck with dramatic mint errors that make collectors' hearts race. These include off-center strikes, broad strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, and rare double die varieties. A strong double die error, especially on the lettering or date, can significantly increase a coin's value. There are also reports of quarters struck on wrong planchets, meaning the coin was struck on metal intended for another denomination. When authenticated, these pieces become highly desirable because they are unique mistakes from the minting process. Another factor that can drive value upward is a coin struck on experimental or transitional metal compositions, though these are extremely rare and must be verified by experts. Collectors are also drawn to coins with exceptional eye appeal, vibrant toning, mirror-like surfaces, or proof coins with deep cameo contrast. What makes the Connecticut quarter especially fascinating is that it represents the very beginning of a program that revived coin collecting across America. Millions of people started checking their change again in 1999. Some collectors built complete sets, while others focused on finding the highest graded examples possible. Over time, as top population coins become locked away in collections, competition for the finest known examples grows intense. For serious collectors, condition is everything. A standard circulated Connecticut quarter might only be worth 25 cents. A brilliant uncirculated one could sell for a few dollars. A superb gem in certified high mint state can bring hundreds. But when you combine an ultra-high grade with a rare mint error and outstanding preservation, that is when records can be broken, and this is the moment every collector waits for. 1 Exceptionally rare, high-grade error example of the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter stunned the market when it reached an astonishing value of $91,000, that is the power of rarity, condition, and collector demand coming together in perfect harmony. So the next time you receive change, take a closer look at your quarters. Examine the date. Study the surfaces. Look for doubling, unusual strikes, or anything that seems different. Because in the world of coin collecting, small details can mean big money. Top 2. We're taking a close look at a coin that changed American coin collecting forever, the 1999 Delaware State Quarter. It may look like ordinary pocket change, but under the right conditions, this historic quarter can become a collector's dream. In 1999, the United States Mint launched the legendary 50 State Quarters program, and Delaware had the honor of being the very first state released in the series. That alone gives this coin a special place in modern numismatic history. As the first state to ratify the U.S. Constitution on December 7, 1787, Delaware proudly earned the title, the first state, and that pride is beautifully captured on this quarter. The reverse design features Caesar Rodney riding on horseback. Rodney was a delegate who famously rode through a stormy night to cast the deciding vote for American independence. His dramatic ride is one of the great stories of early American history, and now it lives on in metal. On the obverse side, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, a symbol recognized around the world. Now, let's talk about what really excites collectors. Value. The Delaware quarter was minted in very large numbers at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with proof coins struck in San Francisco. Because of the high mintage, most examples found in circulation are worth only face value. But this is where careful attention makes all the difference. Condition is everything. When millions of coins are produced, very few survive in flawless condition. High-grade examples certified as MS-67, MS-68, or higher are extremely difficult to find. These coins must have blazing luster, razor-sharp details, and almost no marks or scratches. Even tiny imperfections can lower a grade dramatically. That's why top population coins are so rare and valuable, but the real magic happens when mint errors enter the picture. Some 1999 Delaware quarters were struck with fascinating and rare minting mistakes. Collectors have discovered off-center strikes where the design is partially missing. There are broad strikes that appear stretched beyond the normal rim. Some coins show dramatic doubling in the lettering or date, known as double die errors. Others have been found struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the quarter was mistakenly minted on metal intended for another denomination. These error coins are accidental creations, and because mistakes are rare, they become highly desirable. Proof coins with deep cameo contrast can also attract strong interest, especially if preserved perfectly in original government packaging. Additionally, coins with beautiful natural toning or exceptional eye appeal can command higher prices in the competitive collector market. The Delaware quarter also carries historical importance as the first coin of the entire state quarter series. That emotional and historical significance adds another layer of desirability. Many collectors aim to own the finest known example of the very first state quarter ever released. When demand meets extreme rarity in top condition, prices can rise far beyond what most people expect from a modern coin. Imagine finding one of these extraordinary examples, perfectly preserved, professionally graded, and possibly featuring a rare mint error. It's the kind of discovery that turns an ordinary coin into a headline-making collectible. And now for the moment that proves why every collector should check their change carefully. Point 1. Remarkable high-grade error example of the 1999 Delaware State Quarter has reached an incredible value of $88,000. That's right. A single quarter, originally worth just 25 cents, transformed into a life-changing treasure because of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Top 3. We're uncovering the fascinating story behind the 2001 Vermont State Quarter, a coin that might be hiding in your change right now, waiting to surprise you. In 2001, the United States Mint continued its wildly popular 50 state quarters program, and Vermont proudly took its place in the spotlight. This beautiful coin celebrates the Green Mountain State with a peaceful and iconic design. On the reverse, you'll see a traditional maple tree with sap buckets attached, representing Vermont's famous maple syrup industry. In the background stands Camel's Hump Mountain, one of the state's most recognizable natural landmarks. The design perfectly captures Vermont's rural charm and natural beauty. On the obverse, as always, we see George Washington's portrait, a timeless symbol of American heritage. At first glance, the 2001 Vermont quarter may seem common. After all, millions were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, along with proof versions from San Francisco. Most examples you find in circulation are worth only 25 cents. But here's where collectors know to look deeper. In coin collecting, rarity isn't just about how many were made, it's about how many survived in exceptional condition. High-grade examples of the Vermont quarter, especially those graded MS-67, MS-68, or higher by professional grading companies, are extremely hard to find. Because these coins were mass-produced for circulation, they were tossed into bags, transported in bulk, and quickly entered everyday use. That process caused tiny scratches, contact marks, and dulling of the luster. Finding one with nearly flawless surfaces, strong strike detail, and brilliant mint shine is far more difficult than most people realize, but condition is only part of the story. Mint errors are where excitement truly begins. Some 2001 Vermont quarters have been discovered with off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing due to misalignment during minting. Others show double die errors, noticeable doubling in the lettering or date caused by imperfections in the die itself. Broad strikes, clipped planchets, and even coins struck on the wrong metal planchet have also appeared in rare cases. When authenticated and graded, these error coins become highly desirable because they are unique products of the minting process. Collectors also pay close attention to proof coins with deep cameo contrast, those with frosted designs and mirror-like backgrounds. A perfect proof coin graded PR70 is incredibly difficult to achieve and can command impressive premiums. Add a dramatic mint error to a top-grade coin, and you have something truly special. Another factor that drives demand is the design itself. The Vermont quarter stands out for its detailed engraving of the maple tree and landscape. Coins with strong, sharp strikes that show every line of the tree branches and every detail of the mountain are especially prized. Weakly struck examples are common, but sharply defined ones in high grade are far scarcer. For serious collectors, population reports matter. When grading companies list only a handful of coins at the highest levels, competition becomes intense. Collectors seeking the finest known example are often willing to pay extraordinary prices to secure a top spot in their registry sets, and this is why checking your change can be so rewarding. Most Vermont quarters are ordinary. But if you discover one with pristine surfaces, outstanding luster, and perhaps a rare mint error, you could be holding something remarkable. Now here comes the moment every coin enthusiast waits for. 1 Extraordinary high-grade error example of the 2001 Vermont State Quarter has reached an astonishing value of $85,000. Yes, a single quarter, originally worth just 25 cents, transformed into a treasure because of rarity, condition, and collector passion. Top 4. We're heading to the heart of America to explore a quarter that might be far more valuable than you ever imagined. The 2006 South Dakota State Quarter, released as part of the historic 50 State Quarters program by the United States Mint, the South Dakota Quarter proudly honors the Mount Rushmore state. The reverse design is bold and unforgettable. It features the iconic Mount Rushmore National Memorial, with the towering faces of 4 American presidents carved into stone. Alongside the monument, you'll see a soaring ring-necked pheasant, the state bird, and golden wheat heads representing South Dakota's agricultural strength. The combination of natural beauty, wildlife, and national pride makes this coin visually powerful and deeply symbolic. On the obverse, as with all state quarters, we see the portrait of George Washington. When the coin was released in 2006, millions entered circulation through the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with proof versions struck in San Francisco. Because of these high mintages, most South Dakota quarters are only worth their face value. But here's where collectors lean in closer. Not all coins are created equal. In the world of coin collecting, condition is king. Although millions were struck, very few survived in pristine condition. Coins intended for circulation were produced rapidly, stacked in bulk bags, transported across the country, and used in everyday transactions. This process caused contact marks, minor scratches, and dull surfaces. Finding a South Dakota quarter with flawless surfaces, sharp strike details, and radiant mint luster is incredibly difficult. High-grade coins certified at MS67, MS68, or above are scarce, and scarcity fuels demand, but the true excitement begins when mint errors are discovered. Some 2006 South Dakota quarters have surfaced with fascinating mint mistakes. Off-center strikes show part of the design shifted dramatically away from the center. Double die varieties can reveal noticeable doubling in the lettering or date. Broad strikes appear stretched beyond their normal rim due to collar malfunctions. Clipped planchets create curved missing sections along the edge. Even more dramatic are coins struck on the wrong metal planchet, rare minting accidents that transform an ordinary quarter into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Collectors also pay attention to strike quality on this particular design. The detailed carving of Mount Rushmore requires strong die pressure to fully bring out the faces of the presidents. Weak strikes are common, but sharply defined features with crisp details are much harder to find. When a coin displays exceptional clarity in the monument's features along with booming luster and minimal imperfections, it instantly stands apart. Proof coins add another layer of intrigue. Deep cameo proofs with frosted devices and mirror-like backgrounds are especially appealing. A perfectly preserved proof graded PR70 is a rarity in itself. Combine top condition with an unusual mint error, and you have the type of coin that serious collectors compete fiercely to own. Another factor that drives value is registry competition. Advanced collectors aim to assemble the finest graded sets possible. When population reports show only a handful of coins at the highest levels, bidding wars can erupt. The South Dakota quarter, with its intricate design and production challenges, has produced only a limited number of elite-grade examples. Imagine searching through your pocket change and discovering a coin that appears brighter, sharper, and somehow different. A careful inspection reveals strong doubling or a striking error. That simple moment of curiosity could lead to an extraordinary discovery, and now, here is the astonishing truth that makes collectors pay very close attention. One exceptional high-grade error example of the 2006 South Dakota State Quarter has achieved an incredible value of $82,000, from a simple 25-cent coin to a remarkable treasure. That is the power of rarity, preservation, and collector passion. Top 5. We're diving into a coin that many people mistake for an ordinary quarter, but collectors know it carries powerful history and surprising potential. The 2015 Saratoga Quarter. First, a quick clarification that makes this coin even more interesting. Saratoga is not a state quarter from the 1999 to 2008 State Quarter series. Instead, it is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program issued by the United States Mint. The 2015 Saratoga Quarter honors Saratoga National Historical Park in New York, the site of the pivotal battles of Saratoga during the American Revolutionary War. The reverse design of this coin is bold and symbolic. It features a close-up of a colonial soldier holding a raised sword, surrendering it to commemorate the British defeat in 1777. This moment marked a turning point in the Revolutionary War and helped secure French support for the American cause. The inscription, British Surrender 1777, adds dramatic historical depth. On the obverse, the familiar portrait of George Washington appears, redesigned in 2010 for the America the Beautiful series. At first glance, the 2015 Saratoga Quarter seems common. Millions were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, along with proof versions struck in San Francisco. Most examples you find in circulation are worth exactly 25 cents. But serious collectors don't stop at face value, they look deeper. What makes this coin exciting is the combination of condition rarity and mint errors. Because these quarters were mass-produced for everyday use, most were quickly scratched, nicked, and worn down in circulation. Finding one with flawless surfaces, bold strike detail, and bright original luster is extremely difficult. Coins graded MS67, MS68, or higher by professional grading services are scarce. Even tiny contact marks can prevent a coin from achieving those elite grades. Strike quality is especially important for the Saratoga design. The raised sword and fine details in the soldier's uniform require strong die pressure. Weak strikes are common, but sharply defined examples with crisp lines and clear lettering are much harder to locate. High-grade examples with strong eye appeal instantly stand out in the marketplace. Now let's talk about mint errors, the true thrill for collectors. Some 2015 Saratoga quarters have been discovered with off-center strikes, where part of the design is visibly shifted. Others show double die errors, especially in the inscriptions or date. Broad strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks can also add uniqueness. In rare cases, coins struck on the wrong metal planchet have surfaced. When authenticated, these errors transform an ordinary modern quarter into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Proof coins add another layer of desirability. Deep cameo proofs with frosted devices and mirror-like backgrounds are especially attractive. A perfect PR70 proof is extremely difficult to achieve and highly sought after by registry collectors competing for top-ranked sets. Another factor driving value is historical significance. The battles of Saratoga are often called the turning point of the Revolutionary War. Collectors who appreciate American history are naturally drawn to coins that represent such defining moments. When you combine historical importance with top-tier condition and rare mint errors, you create serious demand. population reports from grading companies show that very few coins survive in ultra-high mint state grades. As more collectors pursue the finest known examples, competition increases. When supply is tiny and demand is strong, prices can rise dramatically. Imagine pulling a 2015 Saratoga quarter from your change and noticing something unusual: sharp, flawless surfaces, exceptional shine, or perhaps visible doubling in the lettering. That small discovery could spark a life-changing moment, and here is the astonishing reality that keeps collectors searching. One extraordinary high-grade error example of the 2015 Saratoga quarter has reached a remarkable value of $80,000, from a simple quarter honoring a Revolutionary War victory to a headline-making collectible. This coin proves that modern coins can still hold incredible surprises.